This podcast is brought to you by Scott Kennedy over at State Farm. He is a great guy. I've done some work with him. Actually, he has a deal going on right now called Quotes for Good. So any quote, any auto quote you get from now till October, he's going to donate $10 to the Lamar County Meals on Wheels. That's an awesome thing. So go check him out. Go get a quote. You don't have to go through them. You just have to get a quote. So go check him out. He's worth a look. He's on Facebook. He has a website. Just go find him, Scott Kennedy at State Farm Insurance. Let's get this thing started. Welcome to another Paris, Texas, a podcast. This is a podcast where you get to listen to people's stories, people that have either influenced or lived in the city of Paris, Texas. I love hearing their stories, and I can't wait for you to hear the next guest. All right, guys, I'm super excited for this guest today. It's one of those that I don't know her. I don't know her story. I don't know anything. I have had some encounters with her in life, but I'm really, really excited. Kyran, Hollje, what's up?
Dun, 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 dun.
Yes. I have a feeling like this is going to be a really fun podcast.
Oh, I was very excited.
I think we're going to laugh a lot.
I think so, too.
Awesome. All right. Where are you from?
Oh, I'm from here, Paris.
Oh, okay.
You know, just
That's-
always here.
Just Paris.
Yep.
Awesome.
Yeah.
When were you born?
October 5th of 1998.
1998.
I'll be 21 in October.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Are you excited for 21?
Oh, yeah. I'm very excited.
Now, you just got back from vacation, right?
Several vacations, yes.
Several vacations.
I went to Puerto Rico for 2 weeks, and then I flew to DFW, and then that night I flew to California for a week. I came home for another week and a half, and then I just got back from my week cruise.
Now, how did you land so many vacations?
Well, actually, my friends and I in college were, like, really broke, and so then we saw this advertisement on, like, Facebook or something of that Lowe's was hiring. So we all went in. It was, like, a hiring day at Lowe's, and you walked in, and, like, we were like, we're not going to get this. Like, it's Lowe's. Well, we all got the job, me and all of my friends.
Okay.
And Lowe's pays, like,
Sorry, that was my Death Star phone.
No, it's okay. But Lowe's pays, like, for adults. Like, you got adult money.
Okay.
Not, you know, like your minimum wage, $7.25.
Oh, awesome.
So
They
we
pay
really didn't
good.
know how to handle ourselves. Oh, so I was able to open a savings account, which I never had. I also don't know how to handle money. I'm really bad at it. If I want something, I buy it then, which is really bad. My mom gets really upset with me. But so then I was able to save all this money, and I got invited to go to Puerto Rico with my boyfriend for 2 weeks, and I was
Awesome.
like, let's go. All I had to buy was the plane ticket. So I was like, on it. I got money, which my parents tried to help me out with that one because that one was a little expensive. And then I went to California, and my mom was like, listen, not going to pay for that one. You got that's on
all
your own.
you.
You don't get to go to 2 vacations paid for. And I was like, okay, I'll buy it. So then I bought it, and now I'm back to being broke. So
Nope.
Yes.
So is Lowe's still? Are you still at Lowe's
I
or?
think I want to go back. You know, the hours were not worth it.
Oh, okay.
I was working all the time, so I missed out on a lot of events. But it was worth it for the money that I saved. It was a good time.
All right, we jumped way ahead. Let me jump back. So you born in Paris, Texas.
Yes.
Where did you go to school? Did you go to school?
I went to Paris, 8th grade through 8th grade, or kindergarten through 8th grade.
Okay.
And then I moved to North Lamar, and then did North Lamar 8th grade through senior
So
year.
through high school. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And so our connection is you were in theater.
Oh, for sure.
And actually, I think the first time we met might have been Shrek.
I think so, yes.
Because I did a video with Cody.
That was my senior year, yeah.
Senior year. And that's the first time we met. And then Liam did a play that year, too, I think. Was it that year?
I think it was the next year in Big Fish.
Next year. Big Fish. That's right.
Yes, that's when I graduated.
I get so many of them confused.
Theater, love it.
Yep. Awesome. I've always loved theater. I had a little bit of theater in high school, and then I did a little bit of it as an adult. But Liam being involved in it has brought me to love it even more.
Oh, yeah, it's
a different
awesome.
kind of passion.
And Northmore Theater is like 10 out of 10.
I have a soft spot for Cody Head in my
Oh,
heart.
me too. My favorite guy.
Epic person.
Yes.
Okay, so So was that your main thing, or did you have anything else in high school that was kind of your thing?
I did a little bit of everything, but my main thing was theater.
Okay.
And then I got heavily involved in one act my junior year, and then it was like downhill spiral. I loved theater, and that was it.
Awesome. So
but like my sophomore year, I was the North Lamar mascot.
You were?
Yes, I had a miniature uniform and everything.
I don't think I knew that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it was great. It was crazy.
Did you have a lot of fun?
It was really hot. But it was fun.
Because the suit is
it was a good experience. It's fun to say that I was the North Lamar mascot for a little bit.
It's a giant panther, right?
Yes.
And is it thick? Is there a fan or anything?
No fan, nothing. Just the thick, hot black suit.
And
furry.
And you were able to handle that?
Oh yeah. And then like they made a custom, like they hemmed it to make it like, or they altered it to like my size.
I think I'd have a heat stroke.
It's
Texas. It's hot.
It was too much for me.
Oh,
I was not the Panther again.
1 year done.
Yeah, just for the experience.
Awesome. I don't think I knew that. So coming into your senior year, you were in theater. What was your like thoughts for the future? Like, where did you want to go?
Well, for a long time, I thought I was going to do theater for the rest of my life. Like,
really?
Especially when we went to, like, state our senior year for one act. Mm-hmm. I was like, oh, this is it. I want nothing else. Like, this. And then I got offered a scholarship for Tyler Junior College, I think it was. I don't even think it was a full scholarship, but I had just talked to the director or something, and he offered me something. But then I realized, like, I was just going to, like, I loved theater because of Cody Head. Like,
Aww.
the family atmosphere, you know? And I love theater itself, but you know what I mean? Like, Cody made it so, like, a family environment. Yes. Mm-hmm. And I went and I looked at the SFA theater program just to, like, take some theater classes, and I did not like it. So I was like, oh, okay.
So do you think it's, like, the school, like, the college theater that might not be as close? Because I know I've done a few things with the local, like, PCT community theater. And they can come off a little bit like a family. Once you're in, you're like a family
and maybe
member.
that's it. Maybe I wasn't like in, so I didn't feel as much. Yes, but like the experience I had in high school with it was so perfect that I didn't want to like ruin it and then hate theater.
Really hard to beat.
Yeah.
Cody Head's leadership, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, for sure.
So theater didn't work out.
No.
So where to then?
Well, so then I was majoring my freshman year in marketing because I'm all about advertising. I love like just putting people's name out there, and like that's just like my favorite thing.
Yeah.
And so then I went into marketing, but what I didn't realize was marketing is in the business school, and business is strictly evolved around math, and like math is like the devil to me. Like I can't even function when I get around it. So like I was just like, okay, I hate this. Like, so then I went to talk to someone at school, and they were like, why aren't you in public relations?
Ooh.
And so then I switched it over my sophomore year, and it's exactly like what I've been imagining. Like, it's public. So right now I'm majoring in mass communications with a concentration in public relations and radio television.
Awesome.
So it's like everything I love in one, and the classes are like fun and like enjoyable and me learning rather than like hating myself.
Yeah. From what I know of you, that seems like a perfect fit.
Yes. I love it.
That's awesome. So this is your...
I'm going to be a junior.
Junior, okay.
Yes.
Anything else? Are you doing any other things with them?
I have... Right now, I'm an intern for the... it's called like LCLM. It's the cheer and dance team for SFA.
Okay.
And I run their social medias, and I just got to do camera, and so like I video.
What'd you get? I'm sorry.
I just got a Canon Rebel. Okay. It's like the starter, beginner, you know.
It's a solid starter camera.
Yes. And so I just video for them, and I edit a little bit in Final Cut Pro. I'm just like testing the waters, you know. But it's a lot of fun.
You like it?
Oh, I love it. It's
awesome.
like it's my thing.
Well, if you have any questions...
Oh, I will throw them your way.
I know a couple things here.
Well, when I told my mom I was doing my podcast, she was like, why haven't you... Because I created a podcast in college, and it went to shambles. Like, it was just not good. She was like, why haven't you talked to Broadway?
Yeah. Now, your mom, she's a photographer too, right?
She is, with Jennifer Hollje Photography.
Right. That's awesome.
Yes.
She's been doing that for a while.
Oh, yeah, for a long time.
Yeah. I've seen her stuff around. That's the only reason I know that.
Yep.
That's awesome. So you probably have her brain to pick.
Yes, for cameras and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she doesn't know about like a lot about video.
Yeah. It's a different world.
A whole different world.
It's one of those things where people are like, I get asked all the time if I can make like a website or something, like if I know how to do this one other thing, and I'm kind of like, it's so like different in the media marketing world. Like you can be a professional videographer and not know anything about photography.
Yeah.
Now you can have gear, like my gear can take good photos, and I wouldn't even really consider myself a professional photographer. I can dabble in it, and I can answer questions, and I can Photoshop the crap out of something. But my strong suit is in video.
Yeah.
But I can't make a website for the life of me. I can make a template website from like Wix.com.
I was just about to say Wix.com. Yep, that's
but
it.
That's like plug and play.
Yeah.
And a lot of people tend to think that they are one and the same. If you are a creative person, you can do everything.
Yeah, it's all right there for you.
Yeah.
Yep,
you can do that, right?
Yeah,
real quick.
Just put it up for free. Do it.
You got that.
Yeah.
So that's funny. It's an interesting, I don't know, business.
And if you don't understand it, then you like have no clue.
No. If you're not in it, you don't know.
Exactly.
I try to relate it to like what someone's doing for a living. Like if they are, I'm trying to think of a good example, but if they're a nurse, like it'd be like,
maybe you don't know how to do brain surgery.
Yeah. Yeah. Just real quick, can you fix
whip
my
it out.
brain?
Yeah.
It's easy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, but anyway, sorry, that was right. You got me on the.
No, it's okay.
When I get onto my stuff, I can talk forever.
For sure. No, I understand that.
Okay, so you're loving the public relations.
Oh, I love it.
What's your thoughts for the future?
I am just scoring internships. Here's you want to know my dream?
I do. That's what I want.
It's like very far-fetched, but here I go. So my senior year, which is next year, I want to apply to work for the PR team for the Dallas Mavericks. Okay? And then I'm going to get that. Well, if I
obviously.
Get that. Yeah, obviously. And then I'm going to work there for 2 years. And in those 2 years, I'm going to become best friends with Mark Cuban.
Okay.
Okay?
Like it.
Exactly. And then Mark Cuban is going to send me, he's going to think I'm the funniest person ever. So then he's going to send me to work for E! News. Okay. And then I'm going to be on E! News for about 5 years.
Okay.
And after I'm on E! News and America thinks I'm the funniest person ever, I will have my own talk show called Small Talk.
Okay.
And that's it. And then I've made it, and then I can relax.
Then you can relax.
Exactly.
I like it. Ambitious.
There we go. That's it. That's all I want to do.
Dreams should be big. I don't like dreams that are like, I don't know. Like, I'm always an outside of the box big dreamer. Like, there has been a plethora of times that my wife, I'm glad she doesn't listen to all my podcasts, but my wife has been like, really, that just seems, I thought she was opening the door. I'm in trouble. That she wasn't quite sure. I'm not trying to like talk bad about her, but she wasn't quite sure. She didn't see it quite like I did in a big dream stance, and then it happens, and I want to be like, I told you so.
Yeah, there we go, in your face.
In your face. Yeah. But I don't do that. I promise.
No, of course not.
Never.
No, yeah.
But that's awesome. Okay, so we're kind of you're probably, other than Liam, one of the youngest people I've interviewed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
I've mostly been like old people.
Well, I've been listening to all of your podcasts, and I was like, how does he just choose people? I want to be chosen so bad. Should I post it on his face? Should I like his Facebook post? Maybe he'll notice me. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to message this guy.
Yeah, best way.
Yeah, exactly.
Honestly, to tell you the truth, what happened was I wanted to do it. There's a couple. I told this story a few times in the last week or so. I followed a couple podcasts. And then Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. Have you ever seen that?
No.
Okay, it's a Netflix original.
Okay.
You should go watch at least one. It's funny. That was one. It's not a podcast, but the way he interviewed in a like conversational. Like I really wanted to do this in a coffee shop, but I could never get everyone scheduled to work in a coffee shop. So it was just very conversational. It wasn't like an interview like on a show, which is nothing wrong with that, but that's just not the goal of what I wanted. Yeah, I really wanted a conversational piece. So I just started picking friends. Actually, Liam was my first, and then I did a few friends, and then I did a few family, and then I kind of found out that I could do it fairly easily, and then here more recently, I've really broke out and tried to get people like yourself that I didn't know anything about. So like, okay, it's coming out. Okay, this will air after he's already out. So I did Russell Jackson a couple days ago. We graduated in high school together. So I knew a lot of his high school and younger story.
Mm-hmm.
So I was able to steer that conversation a little bit. Like, oh, do you remember? Didn't you shatter your leg when you were in high school? I remember that.
Yeah.
You know, and he's like, oh yeah, I did. It was
a long time ago.
It was a long time ago, but I totally, I'm still feeling it in my knees now. Is what he's talking about. So I was able to steer that conversations, but podcasts like this one are my more favorite because I can't. I literally don't know. I don't know anything to ask you. I just have to ask questions, and then when you say something super interesting, I'm like, whoa, hold on, tell me more about that.
Exactly.
So anyway.
Which is more fun.
Which is way more fun.
Exactly.
So I'm trying to get more, and so I'm totally open, and this goes for anyone listening. I'm totally open, as long as schedules fit and everything works out. I'll accept people asking me to be on a podcast all day long.
That's fun.
So yeah, I love it.
But I love what you're doing with the community. You're doing a lot.
I've tried.
I love it.
I enjoy. Sorry, you get me on a soapbox here. I really feel like if you want to change your community, not that it always needs to be changed, but if you have a problem with something and you want to do something about it, you got to be involved.
I completely agree because I think people, not to talk crap, but people like to talk on Facebook and just say like, why don't we have this and why don't we do this? And it's like, are you going to anything to tell people this besides your Facebook friends?
So, okay, we're gonna get off on the subject. You got me going. So this past couple of weeks, I've been talking with some friends, and like I am like sick and tired of negativity.
Mm-hmm.
The world it's so easy to be negative towards people and towards things that are happening in your community, things that your town's trying to fix. And I've just seen too many people like just jump on Facebook and bash a new business that just opened.
No, I completely agree.
They're like trying so hard. I mean, obviously they just opened. They've only been open for a week. And they're trying super hard to get things right, get the right employees in there.
Or they compare it to another business
that's been open for 50 years.
And then they have it down, and it's like you can't. It's
You
not.
can't.
This is so crazy because I was actually gonna make a Facebook post about this like last week before I left for my cruise because I was noticing as well, and I was like, it's not comparable because it's not fair.
Yes.
And if you have a problem, then go to them and tell them that so they can fix it.
Yeah, in a polite way, or write them. Like bashing them on Facebook, and there's a lot of what I'm talking about, does not fix anything.
Exactly, nothing.
It doesn't help them fix their whatever issue you had with them, and it doesn't. It just tears business away from them, and then they have to close.
Because then people read that post and then they don't go, and they've never even tried it, and then that's why Paris, like small businesses, shut down so quick.
Negative people have such a loud voice.
I completely agree.
And I just feel like, and we were talking about this in a board meeting I was with the other day, like, I feel like we positive people, like I like to think I'm a positive people, we need to be the example. It's just as much as I can get mad at somebody for saying something negative, I can be mad at myself for not trying to say something positive.
Exactly.
So,
I love that.
Honestly, I don't want you to go lie. So if I don't like, if the restaurant isn't great and I haven't had a great experience, I don't go in there and say, yeah, it's great. But like, I can follow it up and say, something positive about the situation.
They're trying, or the customer service was good.
Yeah, the customer service. I could pick one thing that was great about them and try to give them a boost up, or, champion them a little bit. Like,
exactly.
Say, like, give them time. They've been open for 5 days. Give them time to figure out how to
for sure, yeah,
how to do a little bit better. And I don't know, the whole phrase championing people around me, like that is something I really want to spread. And I think that hopefully people that are listening to me feel the same way. And I was in a chamber ambassador meeting the other day and we were talking about this, and I was like, this is our job. We are people that are supposed to champion the people around us.
Exactly.
Anyway, so you got me on a soapbox
No.
there.
Well, I think a lot of people in Paris want to compare Paris to Dallas. And they're like, why can't we have this?
Sulphur Springs.
Yes, exactly. Or they want to say, like, why don't we have a Chick-fil-A? And they act like if we get a Chick-fil-A, we're going to be this, like, almighty, superior, like, city, and then everything's complete. And that's not it. Like, you don't compare Paris to anything else. You make Paris for what it is, and then you build on top of that. You don't, like, we don't have this. We don't have a bathroom. You can't see outside. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like... Yeah. Like, we have our own things that people come to visit for us.
And we don't want to be, like... And I've had a lot of people say, like, oh, I don't want to be like Dallas. I don't want to be like Sulphur Springs. I agree. I don't want to be like them.
That's why we don't live there.
But I do want to take a note from them in what they're doing and how they're attacking the situation and making it better.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to change Paris in the sense of like make it look like something it's not. I want to change Paris in the sense of make it a better Paris.
Oh, that's awesome. No, I completely agree.
Does that make sense?
Yes, for sure.
So like we'll take downtown for instance. A lot of people were on the fence. You had some people that were really upset with a lot of the changes we're trying to make, the parallel parking, adding trees and adding space to the.
And there were so many Facebook complaints, but how many people were at the meeting?
Right. No, exactly. So a recent thing that happened is, well, when that first came out, everyone was like, "I don't like shopping downtown because I can never park anywhere." That was all over there. So we added 17 new parking spots over by Time Flies. And the first thing they said is that I don't know if it was the same people, but people started complaining about where the parking spots were placed. So we give you 17 new parking spots so that you can get closer to the businesses that are downtown, making
and
it
then
easier.
There's still complaints.
And there's still complaints. So it's really hard to make people happy. But those kind of complaints, in comparison to what I was talking about earlier, like, just find something positive to say. Like, thank you guys so much for finding us more parking spots. That's awesome. That's going to make it easier for me to get to.
And then those type of posts make people like, oh, let me go see downtown. Like, I want to see. That's awesome.
Where's this
And then, like, positivity spreads just like negativity does.
It's just harder, though.
Yes.
It's easier for
you always
one
got
person.
That Debbie Downer.
Yes. Anyway, so that's my heart. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I worked with Chad Lindsay for a little bit.
Yeah.
And he would always speak about this all the time.
Yes, Chad's great. I graduated with Chad as well.
Oh, he's a great guy.
He's a great guy. We are on the Grand Revitalization Board together. So we're trying to rebuild the Grand Theater to its original glory.
Which would be awesome.
I don't know if you're old enough. Was it ever open when you were a kid?
Not that I can remember. It might have been, but like I don't remember it.
I was in I think high school, maybe middle school when it closed down. I remember the last movie I watched in it, which I'm pretty sure was the Titanic.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So is it like a movie theater?
It wasn't when I was a kid. It was a movie theater. It was a 2-screen movie theater.
Oh wow.
They had taken the balcony because originally it was like a playhouse, like it was like what PCT Plaza was. You can go and you could watch plays there or have keynote speakers there, stuff like that. And then it turned into a movie theater, and it was one big movie theater. And then they took the top balcony and walled it up and put in a second movie theater.
Oh wow!
So we're gonna tear down the top portion so that it's one big balcony with overlooking the lower portion. And we're trying to get it back to where it's multifunctional. Like you could have a movie in there, you can drop a screen, have a movie, you could do a play, you could have a keynote there, you could do an orchestra.
That'd be awesome.
All kind, like anything, a business meeting, a wedding, anything you really wanted to do in there, it would be capable of doing.
Which would be awesome. We need something like that.
Yeah, but it's going to take a lot of time and a lot of money to bring it back.
Money.
Always comes out of money. Sorry, I got off on the Paris. Let's get back to you.
It's okay.
So tell me something about Paris that you love. It can be anything. It can be a location. It can be an event. It can be anything.
I think it's the people.
Really?
Just because the positive people, not the Debbie Downers over there. Just because I've grown up, and I don't think that I would have ever been as successful as I am if I wouldn't have grown up in this small town.
Really?
Just because of me being 3'11", everyone, rather than like treating me one way, they treated me like, you can do this, you go do this. Like my mom and dad. Yeah, exactly. My mom and dad taught me that way. Like they were never like, you're not doing this, you can't do this. They never held me back. And as I went on, that's how like they saw people saw my parents treat me that way. So then they treated me that way. And like Cody Head was one of those people that also treated me that way. And like I got awards in one act, and like he always pushed me to like do my best. And then I was my best.
That's amazing. See, I'm all about championing people. Like,
oh, awesome.
Be the best of you that you can be. Like what you want to be. Like don't try to be the best of what your mom wants you to be or the best of what someone else wants you to be. Like if there's something you want to do, tackle it. Take it.
Exactly.
Like
no, I'm the same way.
Yeah.
Like when I tell the people my like dream, they're like, well, that's never gonna happen. I'm like, you never know. Like I could comment on Mark Cuban's picture on Instagram, and he could like be in a good mood that day and comment back and be like, come get a drink with me. Like it could be so casual.
People have gotten jobs on less.
Exactly.
It can happen. And if it doesn't happen in that specific way, it could happen in another way. There's 100 different ways that it could happen.
For example, so like I don't know, maybe I just have bad friends. All my friends are Debbie Downers. And so when we were in California, my friend was like, they were filming for this show called Vanderpump Rules. Do you know what that show is?
I'm not familiar with it.
Okay, it's a reality TV show, real drama, you know. So they were filming for it, and I was like, oh my gosh, what if we could be on the show right now? And I was like, Sarah, she was my friend, she was like, I was like, do something crazy right now. And she was like, we're not going to be on the show, da-da-da-da. You know, I was like, watch this. So I started dancing, and the camera guy noticed me and then started filming us. And then she was like, oh my gosh, we're getting filmed. And I was like, what did I tell you? So then the camera guy later came to talk to us and was like, you were so funny. Please sign this. And then he had to sign this waiver form. Yeah. And we're going to be on next season. And he like followed us on Instagram, and he like talked about what all he's filmed. It was like, I'm also all about connections. Like anyone I can meet, like I watched this podcast one time, and it was like anyone you meet, you like talk to them and you build off them, and you meet another person, and you meet like that's
networking.
That's my favorite thing is to network.
Yep. That's why you're going to be good in what you've chosen to do for school, because that's what it's all about.
Oh, for sure.
That's a huge part of what it's all about. That's amazing.
Exactly. I'm networking off of you right now.
Yeah, you
Listen
never know.
to me, people.
Yeah, you guys could be part of this future.
Exactly. This is my gateway to fame.
That's awesome. Is there anything you want to throw in there?
Oh, I can't think of anything.
Awesome.
Well, this was fun.
This was fun. I love doing this. Sorry, I feel like I hijacked a little bit of your podcast.
It's okay. I enjoyed it.
Did you?
Yes.
Good. I really wanted you to. Well, I really want every guest to, but
yeah. No.
My heart.
I just think there's a lot we can do with Paris.
Yes. It just takes people.
But I also wish people would get their own ideas.
Yeah.
Like I think people have ideas and then they like branch them out, and then other people are like, oh, let me steal that idea and I can make it better. And it's like, get your own idea and then you make it the best you possibly can. You know what I mean?
I do and I don't. Let me follow up with that. Like, I feel like they should put themselves in a surrounding of people that they are comfortable with. And then because I think I can work my idea in 100 different ways, but like if I'm with someone who has a like-minded mind, they could add to it, and then I could add to their idea. And then and
then you work together,
then
though.
You work together.
See, I don't like the working separately thing.
Yeah, no.
That's what I don't like.
Taking from,
yes.
No. But, like, if you can sit down and have a think tank, and you can take one idea and
then it's awesome. I completely agree with that. I just don't like the competitiveness, like, oh, let me steal your ideas.
No.
And then let me, that's what I don't like.
No, I'm not about that. And you get that a lot with, especially in businesses in a small town. Mm-hmm. And we have a lot of banks and a lot of car dealerships and a lot of anything that has a lot of competitive competitors. Sorry, competitive competitors. That didn't really work. That happens. But I try really hard because I work with a lot of those different businesses. I try really hard not to take an idea that I've heard over here and make a video with it over here with this other person.
Exactly.
It's I think I'm creative enough and I use their ideas enough that we can make them unique and original to each of them individually. So anyway.
And then there we go.
We have awesome sauce.
Everyone's happy.
Everybody's happy.
That's what we want in Paris, Texas.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on my podcast.
Of course, this was a lot of fun. I enjoyed this today.
You should start a podcast.
I'm trying.
Do it.
I tried to with my friend who I went to California with, and it just didn't go as well as I planned. We just talked about college stuff, and then I couldn't like put it on Facebook because it was like bad college stuff, and I was like, this isn't wholesome. My grandmother can't listen to this.
Well, I would suggest starting a podcast your grandmother could listen to.
There we go.
But it is all about what it's about. So you could do one like this, but at college, about the people that go to college.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
You don't have to, but I'm always a supporter.
I've been thinking about it.
Do it. Think of something cool.
Because in the MassCom building, we have a whole like studio with like mics and like a radio station that we can record on.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's what I was recording on. So it was like good equipment. I didn't have to buy anything.
How are you uploading them?
I recorded them through Audition, and then I put them on SoundCloud.
SoundCloud? So I use an app called Anchor. And I love Anchor because what they do is I host it on their site, and then they push it to all the major podcast apps.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I don't have to worry about they're my middleman. They do all the work for me, and I just host it on their site. So
oh wow, okay.
And you can actually another thing I love about it, and I've only used this a couple times, is they have an app on your phone that you can just pull up, hit record, and record live in front of people, like then and there.
Wow.
They also have a function. I haven't used this one at all. So if you have a long distance podcast, I can, if the other person has the same app, I can just call them across the country and record the whole podcast.
Oh, wow, that'd be
right then
awesome.
And there, phone to phone.
That's super cool.
So it's a cool, and it's free. So
that's the best too.
No monthly fees. You can get your monetize it. And you can do the same thing you can do with the YouTube channel.
Oh, wow.
It's a podcast. So definitely, if any of y'all ever thinking about making a podcast, I highly suggest it. It's a lot of fun. And it just all comes down to content. One of the guys I follow, Gary Vaynerchuk, have you ever heard of him? It's like an inspirational speaker kind of guy. He's I don't know. He's a lot of what inspires me to do a lot of things. I follow a lot of his stuff. But one of the things he said is like, you can literally have a podcast or a YouTube channel about anything. If you like Star Trek, there's other people that like Star Trek and will watch it. And will listen to you.
For sure.
I listen to this podcast, so I'm a Star Wars fan. I like Star Trek, but I'm a Star Wars fan. And
I've seen with my Bradley Hilliard.
Yes.
Yep, that's Kylie's my best friend, so I'm over there all the time.
I love them so much. I've plugged CycleWorks so many times.
For sure.
It's like
CycleWorks. Yeah.
It's like a dream
go,
game or something.
Yeah.
So Star Wars. There's this podcast that's minute by minute Star Wars. So literally what they do is they take each episode and they cover one whole podcast covers the first minute. And then the second podcast covers the second minute.
What in the world?
And they spend like an hour on 1 minute of film. It's the craziest thing. And
hey, people listen to it. You listen to it.
I listen to it.
No, if you're passionate about something, other people will like
anything. Anything you can think. Wood carving, upholstery, like anything that you're passionate about.
I watch this guy on YouTube that cooks food in the woods. Like he just
you could do a version of your talk show and maybe
scale I've thought about
down,
that.
Scale it down. So don't give them all your like full thing. Scale it down a little bit and start it as a podcast. Because then when you meet Mark, you can just be like, look, here's a small taste of
love me
of what awesomeness it could be. And then he's got some content to look at.
And if all else fails, I'll get on the care.com and just nanny his kids. And then just go from there. Some way, though, I'll get in Mark Cuban's life.
I say that. There's 100 different ways that it could happen.
I'll janitor at the Maverick Stadium and just run into him one day.
Well, what's that guy there was a guy that did like a dance at a baseball
he
game.
sold the popcorn or something like that.
Yeah,
I know exactly.
Did some sort of crazy dance. And
now look, he's famous.
Yeah, he's like YouTube famous.
You can start anywhere.
You can start anywhere. You just have to do. And that's another thing that I've always been passionate about. Like, if you want to do something, anything creative, again, just do it. Just do some form of it. Like, if you like taking photos, go get the small entry level photography camera and just start taking pictures of whatever you like.
Because people think that you have to have these like this elaborate equipment and stuff, and it's it doesn't have to start with that.
Yeah,
my mom actually taught me that because I bought the Rebel to video to have a vlog.
Yeah.
And she was like, Kyran, and I was like waiting for this camera. And she's like, just start videoing on your phone then.
Yes.
And I was like, no, Mom, I have to have the best equipment. And she was like,
no,
you don't.
No, you don't.
And then she showed me like 5 YouTubers that are like very popular that video from their phone. She's like, see?
Correct.
Look. And I was like, Mom, you're right.
Because what that does is there are other skills that you build beyond just what your camera's capable of.
Exactly.
Your presence on video, your presence on a podcast,
confidence
in that realm. Like, I like if you'd have told me or anyone that knew me in high school that I would do this or anything that I do for a living, they would all laugh at you because it's so far out. I was so shy and so reserved, and it's so far outside of who you would have thought I was. But it all started from me trying things that I wanted to try. I saw someone else and I said, I really like what they're doing. Now, I didn't steal what they were doing, but I took what they were doing and said, I could do something like that.
Exactly.
You know, Dax Shepard is one. He has Armchair
with
Expert.
the armchair, yes.
So he was one of the 2 podcasters that I listened to a lot of his podcasts, and I was like, I could do something like this.
For the community.
Yes, obviously, I don't know movie stars, so I can't do movie stars, but I could do something like this and spin it and do it for our community. And bring in people and introduce their story and who they are and what they do. So that's sorry, I'm stealing your podcast again.
You're okay. It's fine. I'm enjoying it.
Anyway,
this was good. I feel like we've said like goodbye like 30 times. And we're like, okay, see you later.
I guess we can do it again. Thank you so much for being on my podcast.
No, of course, anytime.
This is so much fun. We should do another project together.
I completely agree.
I'm down.
Well, no, I have some things to talk to you about when the camera or the microphone turns off.
You guys will just have to.
I don't know. I feel like it's confidential.
Yeah, y'all just have to wonder.
Coming soon.
Coming soon.
Dun, dun, dun.
Yes. All right. Again, guys, this podcast has a new one come out every Monday, so stay tuned for next week's guest. I do have a Facebook group, so go on. You can request to be a part of that group. I send out a reminder on Fridays on who's coming up that next Monday, and then I'll send out a reminder, a reminder on Monday to go listen to it. I do post it pretty early, so if you drive into work or something really early, you're able to listen to it. Go check us out. We're on iTunes and Spotify and all the major podcast apps. So just look on your phone for a podcast app. You can find it. It's a little weird to say this on here because you should already be there listening to this.
Yeah.
But I'm just trying to teach people who may not know where to look for it, where to go look for it. And then, this has been a blast. I do want to give one more big shout out to Scott Kennedy. Thank you, man, so much. He is an amazing guy. He has a huge heart. He's doing that deal with Meals on Wheels for the next couple months. If you go get a quote from him, he will donate $10 to Meals on Wheels. Another amazing program. Meals on Wheels is partnered up with United Way, another great community organization. Just go check them out. Go see Scott. If you have any questions about Meals on Wheels, you can ask him too. Thank you so much, Scott.
Advertise with Broadway.
Yeah. I do take sponsors, so if you ever do want to sponsor a podcast, I would love that. Reach out to me on Facebook or tap me on the shoulder. You could email me too. It's broadway@iambroadway.me. You could sponsor this podcast and you can get a little bit of a shout out as well. And that is it. We will see you guys next week.
See you later.
Bye.